All right, so I watched the first episode of the Book of Boba Fett, and I'm just going to give my overall first impressions. Um, I'm not going to do this after every episode. Maybe I'll do something at the end when the season's over. But I just want to talk about a few things here. Overall, I think the show is fine so far. There's not much to it, in my opinion. It's kind of sticking to the formula. There's nothing really wrong with that, but it's not anything new. It feels very much like The Mandalorian. In fact, Boba Fett himself seems like the Mandalorian character. He's a good guy, basically. Um, and I just can't help but wonder what the show could be like if Boba Fett was allowed to be a little bit more of a bad guy. Disney's very afraid to make a show about a character who's a bad person. I mean, they spent years transforming Loki into a good guy. And that's exactly what he is now after the Loki show. And I didn't even dislike that show. But you could see that they felt like they had to make him a good guy because he was popular. You know, villains and bad guys are sort of secondary characters in Disney shows and movies. And that's because it has such broad appeal. And that includes kids. So that means you can't really have a show or a movie about a character who's ruthless. But when I was watching this show, I couldn't help but wonder what that would be like, because Boba Fett's the head of a crime organization in this, but he's the head of a crime organization with a heart of gold. And I just wonder what it could be like if it was more like The Sopranos or more like Breaking Bad. Like, imagine Tony Soprano meets Star Wars, or Walter White meets Star Wars. Doesn't that sound kind of awesome? I mean, to me, that sounds super interesting. But they're obviously playing it safe, you know? And to me, Boba Fett always was a guy who, at the very least, leaned bad. Maybe he wasn't all bad, but he leaned in that direction. And I'm not seeing that with this show. He's very much seems like a good guy to me. He doesn't do anything ruthless at all in the entire episode. Um, he was a bounty hunter. Worked for Jabba the Hutt. Worked for the Empire. This is not a guy who has a set of morals that I don't know. It makes me wish for something that it could have been. But they're playing it safe. And to be fair, I'm not that big a Boba Fett fan anyway. I don't even understand the appeal of the character. I used to. Before the prequels, I thought there was a lot of potential for the character. But ever since George Lucas turned him into a clone of Jango Fett, I've just found him uninteresting. He's everything he got from Jango Fett, and there's a trillion other clones just like him. So I don't understand what's appealing about that to me. That's where they lost me with Boba Fett. But in general, I'm not that big a Star Wars fan anyway. I love the original trilogy. I think it's one of the best things ever. But outside of that, I'm not a huge fan. I like some of the expanded universe novels. That's where I think Boba Fett really shines. And I liked a little bit of The Mandalorian. But other than that, I think most of it is pretty bad, in my opinion. And I just think it would be more interesting to see Boba Fett as a character who is a bad guy pretending to be good than a good guy pretending to be bad. And I think that's what you get with this. But to me, it's a little boring and it's a little redundant. So I just found it a little interesting. But there's still potential. He could still turn out to be, more of a gray character. I guess we'll see. Here's hoping. And I'm just going to basically give an update on what I'm going to be doing. Star Trek Picard is coming out in February, season 2. And I've decided I'm going to watch it. I'm going to review it. Those of you who know me know that I was not a fan of the first season, and I haven't really liked anything from new Star Trek. But I'm going to give this a shot. I'm going to try to like it. and I'm going to try to be fair. It's not just going to be me hate watching it, at least at first. It may devolve into that. I can't promise anything, but I'm going to give it a fair shot because they're bringing back Hugh. I mean, there is potential. Even I could admit that. So hopefully it'll be good. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So, and also, let me know what you think. What you think I should be doing? Give me some suggestions. I appreciate it. And I also appreciate the encouragement I've gotten from some of you. It's been really great. Obviously, I do this as kind of like a little bit of a hobby. I try to do something once a week, and it's been fun. I've enjoyed it. I obviously don't have a huge following, just basically my friends, and that's more than enough reason to keep making videos. So I appreciate everything you guys have said. And, let me know what you think about the Book of Boba Fett so far. Are you into it? Are you skeptical? Let me know. I'd love to hear it. And yeah, that's basically all I got. Hopefully this video isn't too awkward, although I got a feeling it will be because it's me. But that's all I got for now. Happy New Year, everybody. I hope you have a good one. And take it easy.